Jasgassi, congratulations on a very impressive victory. I guess what are the emotions like for you right now?
Parabéns pela vitória. Como é que você está se sentindo agora?
Muito obrigado. Eu estou me sentindo muito bem, não? Acho que é uma das melhores vezes que eu já lutei dentro da minha carreira. Acho que tanto na perca de peso, em tudo. Eu tô ótima. Estou muito feliz.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very happy. This was probably one of the best fight weeks I've ever had in my life, and everything went according to plan. And I have zero complaints. Everything went fantastic, and the result is just the combination of all the hard work that everybody put around me.
I guess first question before we get to the fight is just the fight week itself, getting back to 115. Was it a challenge at all getting back to strawweight, and is this certainly your division moving forward?
Falando, sobre essa luta, como que foi essa descida de volta, para 5-2? Como que foi esse processo todo para dar peso?
Na verdade, eu tive alguns problemas, né, nas minhas últimas duas percas de peso dos 52 quilos, e isso acabou afetando um pouco a minha mente, a minha cabeça, mas eu conversei com o meu mestre, ele falou, não, então vamos fazer umas lutas no 5-7 para você melhorar, você voltar bem. E acho que foi o tempo suficiente, né? E quando ele deu a ideia da gente vir morar aqui em Vegas, ele falou, minha filha, se a gente for morar em Vegas, você vai ver como vai ser fácil para você perder o peso. Você é campeã dessa categoria. Você não pode desistir dessa categoria. E foi aonde, com todo o trabalho do PI, do UFC, dos nutricionistas, da preparação física e tudo mais, eu criei essa coragem novamente e acho que confiança é a palavra certa, né? De voltar para essa categoria e voltar tão bem como foi.
I had two kind of rough weight cuts in my last two fights at strawweight, and that is what prompted me to fight at flyweight. Things weren't going well. My head, wasn't in a good place. It was a little traumatic, the two last ones that I had, and so we decided to just take a break. I spoke to coach, and okay, let's give it some time. Let's do something on a weight class above. Let's just remove weight cutting from your mind for a little bit. And as well as things went in flyweight, strawweight is where I'm gonna excel at. I know that I can do well at flyweight. I know that I can beat a bunch of girls at bantam, but if I'm gonna be champion, if I want to be champion ever again, strawweight is the place to be. And when coach said, okay, I think moving to Vegas is the right move, and he said, if we're going to Vegas, making weight to strawweight is going to be a thing again. It's going to be back in the equation, and that's what happened. Just having the support from the PI, so many good people there doing such amazing work, and I'm here, I'm happy, and like we always said, a happy Jessica is a dangerous Jessica, and that's what's happening. Couldn't be happier.
As the fight started, she did have a little bit of success with the jab, a couple of hard low kicks as well. I guess anything surprised you, or was there any concern at all that she was having success early?
Ela teve pouquinho de sucesso ali no começo, né? Colocou chute na panturrilha bom, colocou umas mãos. Alguma coisa te surpreendeu ali?
Na verdade, não me surpreendeu porque é um jogo que eu já sabia que ela tinha, né? Que ela tinha chutes fortes, que ela tinha golpes sozinhos fortes, né, tanto direto quanto jab. Então eu sabia que isso podia acontecer no primeiro round, mas eu estava muito preparada para a luta ser mais do que um round, né? Aí eu sei que quando eu chego muito perto, as minhas adversárias elas ficam sem saber o que fazer e foi muito nítido, né? A hora que eu entrei, eu já consegui encaixar a posição certa e foi só manter a força, escutar o meu mestre falando, não solta, continua, insiste que ela vai bater, e deu tudo certo. Então, mas acho que é pela questão de chutes e esses golpes, eu já estava preparado para isso, eu sabia que ela ia colocar isso no primeiro round. Mas a minha estratégia era acabar a luta para o terceiro, quarto round em diante. Mas foi melhor ainda, né, que acabou antes do que eu esperava.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we knew how dangerous she was, especially in the first round. We were very much aware of it, and the plan on paper was to, tire her out on the first round, maybe second round, so then I could take over on the third. Luckily, that happened, but that's the thing. Like, I knew that she was gonna hurt me, and I had to, be cautious about it on the first round. And the moment that I get on close quarters, I know that girls get a little bit desperate because I am pretty scary at close quarters. So, and that's what happened. When the moment that I connected with her, she just put her arm up, and I said, okay, that's that move that we've been planning throughout the week. And, kept my ears open, listened to my coach, and he was like, okay, just here, just there, keep going for it, and got the win.
So I have to ask about the standing arm triangle, right? First, it's never been done in UFC history. Second, she's taller than you. So when your coach says a standing arm triangle, are you like, you're crazy? Or did you immediately go, oh, yeah, that could work?
Falando sobre o triângulo de mão, né? Ali você é uma finalização que nunca foi feita no UFC, né? Na história do UFC, a primeira vez e contra um oponente muito mais alta que você, né? No momento que o seu técnico estava te falando sobre isso, você não parou para pensar e falou, não, mas ela é mais alta que eu, vai ser meio complicado, ou você não questionou?
Olha, eu vou te falar que na hora ali, eu não pensei em altura, eu não pensei em nada. Eu acho que estava tão encaixado, tão bem encaixado, e eu já tinha treinado muito aquilo durante o último mês da minha luta, e o mestre tinha pegado muito no meu pé, falando assim, olha, você tem que insistir, os seus braços são curtos, são fortes. Se você fechar, não tem ninguém que vai sair, você vai finalizar. E ele falava assim, dá a queda, só não cai por baixo. E só que ali já estava tão arrochado que ela já não estava aguentando. Quando ele gritou assim, aperta mais que em pé ela pode até bater. Aí eu falei assim, agora eu vou apertar mais ainda. E eu consegui escutar ela respirando bem fraco e começando a fazer barulho. Eu falei, olha, é isso aqui mesmo, eu vou acabar essa luta aqui. E aí eu só apertei com mais força e a finalização saiu. Eu espero fazer mais dessas, né? Coisas que não acontecem dentro do UFC sempre, para sempre estar diferenciando e ganhando os bônus.
Yeah, I hope that I can keep at it and I'll just keep doing different things and keep winning bonuses. Bonuses are pretty nice. And, during last week, that was a position that kind of showed up during training. And I trained with some girls that pretty much everybody's taller than me, so that doesn't really, it's not that big of a deal. But I do train with a lot of girls that are taller than me, and that worked. And coach kept hammering at it and saying, okay, we got to pay attention to this. And the moment that I locked in, I say, okay, I got something here. And even on the corner, coach was saying, like, okay, if you want to try to go for the takedown, just make sure that you don't fall on your back. Just make sure that you fall on top of her because the position is still going to be locked. But I started hearing her gurgling just a little bit. I said, okay. And then coach said, it's tight. If you keep at it, she might tap there. And there he went.
Last thing for me, you came into this fight as the number one contender at 125 pounds. Do you believe you should now be the number one contender at 115?
Você acabou de descer do 5-7, onde você era o número 1 do ranking, né? A primeira a desafiar no papel. Aí você consegue uma vitória dessa no 5-2. Aonde você acha que você se encaixa nessa situação agora? Você acha que você também agora é a número 1 no 5-2?
Olha, eu espero que eu me encaixe numa ótima posição depois dessa vitória, viu? Porque era uma coisa que eu imaginava... se eu vencesse de uma forma avassaladora ou de uma forma diferente, que ninguém nunca ganhou, que eu teria essa possibilidade de ou disputar o cinturão, ou então lutar com a Weili ou com a Joana, qualquer uma das duas, que eu tenho umas pendências aí com elas. Mas eu espero que eles me coloquem num lugar bom. Quando eu saí do 5-2, eu era número 2 do ranking. E aí fui para o 5-7 e me tornei a número 1. Agora estou retornando para a minha categoria de novo. É claro que estou em aberto, se tiver luta do 5-7 eu estou aí também, mas eu espero ficar bem ranqueada e ter a oportunidade de lutar pelo cinturão bem rápido.
Yeah, I think this is a big win. Like, we were aware that going into this one, she was ranked 10th, so I couldn't really expect to be a title challenger right away. But it was also on our mind that, okay, maybe if we do something different, if we have a devastating win, if we really do something outside of the norm, maybe. Who knows? It's a tough division. There's a bunch of girls that are ahead of me, but who knows? Maybe we do something different. We can get the conversation going. But no matter what, the big thing is, like, I want to keep active. If the girls are fighting right away, Joanna, Weili, and the title fight, if I can fight someone there, it'd be great. And hopefully it could be soon because they're fighting right now, I think, next month. But if that doesn't happen, if there's something good to do at flyweight, I don't mind fighting there. If there's something interesting at bantam, I'll fight there. It's all good, just keep me ranked on everywhere and I'll fight whoever's in front of me.
Eu sei que tem umas outras aí na frente, né, esperando a chance de disputar o cinturão, mas não custa a gente pedir, né, vai que o Dana White aceita na minha proposta, né.
We know that there's a bunch of girls that are maybe more deserving or that are ahead of me in the rankings, but, it's worth asking,
But realistically, do you feel that worst case you're maybe only 1-2 fights away from possibly getting that title shot?
Você acha que, assim, na pior das hipóteses, você está, de repente, a uma luta ou 2 lutas de lutar pelo cinturão de novo?
Eu acredito que sim. Eu acredito que, sem dúvida, depois do resultado da luta entre a Weili e a Joana, ou o UFC me dê essa possibilidade de lutar com uma das duas e aí sim disputar o cinturão, até porque já vai ter saído o resultado da luta da Rose com a Carla Esparza. Então, eu acredito que começo do ano que vem seja uma ótima data aí para poder disputar o cinturão, porque eu acho que nesse intervalo o UFC vai me dar alguma outra adversária, mas eu estou pronta para ir para o title shot, para me tornar nova campeã novamente e fazer o que eu faço de melhor, que é lutar.
You know, we know that there's a lot of stuff to happen in the next, in this coming month. You know, we do have the title fight. We do have that big fight with Weili and Joanna. So, guess we got to wait a little bit to just figure out where things are. But that's the thing. I'm ready. I'm willing. I know that, if I can get a fight against one of those higher ranking girls, maybe I can, hop in and get ahead. I think probably one more fight against someone that is very well ranked should put me in position to fight for a title. But we never know with ranking, so I'm here just to fight. There are some issues that I have to sort out with Weili, with Joanna. So whatever happens, and I'm just striving to get back to the top.
When I didn't have a great view of the actual choke, but I looked at, like, after you let go, Amanda was grabbing her jaw. Was that clean underneath the neck, or was it a mixture of a crank on the jaw as well?
Ali ele não estava numa posição muito boa para enxergar, mas na hora que você soltou, ela estava segurando o maxilar dela. Você acha que estava, além da pressão no pescoço, também estava pressionando o maxilar? Quanto você acha que estava sendo o triângulo de parar sangue e quanto que era de amassar a cara dela mesmo?
A posição estava tão forte, estava tão bem encaixada que teve um momento que eu cheguei a virar a cabeça para o lado para ver como que estava encaixado. O meu ombro estava no queixo dela, o meu bíceps no pescoço, acho que está tapando a artéria, e o braço todo passado para o lado de cá, e eu estava segurando só a ponta do meu bíceps. Então, acredito que pegou tudo ali, pegou queixo, pegou articulação, pegou tudo. E eu só escutava ela gemer, eu falei, vou apertar mais, que aqui ela vai bater. E eu senti meio que ela deu uma apagada e foi quando eu soltei, ela caiu no chão, e aí o cutman, o juiz já estava lá em cima, e eu acho que já parou ela. Mas eu acredito que ela deu uma apagada, e depois o juiz chegou e ela acordou.
Yeah, the way that, like, there was one time when I was in a position where I could look a little bit and see where it was, and my shoulder was around her jaw, and my forearm was on her area. So I think it was a little bit of both. Like, whatever I was on, I was crushing it. So it's probably a little bit of a blood choke, and I'm pretty sure that I was crushing her jaw as well. So the moment that I let her go, she fell to the ground. So I think she might have, gone a little out for a little bit too.
And then I guess last thing, and it's about the choke. I don't think anybody can doubt your strength and how strong you are, but when you were holding that choke, how much longer would you have been able to hold that before you would have had to either let it go to go for something else? Did you know that it was locked in that good, or could you have held that choke for a good bit longer, or were you getting near the point where if she didn't tap, you were going to have to go towards another technique and let go of it?
Sendo estrangulamento que você estava tendo que botar bastante força de bíceps mesmo, né? Era uma coisa que aonde que você estava em relação ao seu desgaste? Você estava firme nele, dava para você continuar de repente até o final do round apertando ali, ou você deu aquele último gás na hora que você sentiu que realmente pegou, ou já estava pensando de repente posso fazer uma outra coisa?
Na verdade, quando a posição encaixou, eu fui apertando conforme eu ia escutando o sentimento dela ali, né? E aí eu fui apertando. Quando eu escutei que ela já estava nas últimas mesmo, respirando assim, bem ofegante, eu falei assim, olha, se eu colocar mais pressão, ela vai bater. Mas eu acredito que dentro daquela posição ali, eu podia ficar até o final do round e ia voltar super bem, porque eu treinei muito isso no meu camp e treinei muita parte de gás, de explosão, de força. Então, eu sabia que se eu não finalizasse ali, os outros rounds eu ia estar tranquila, não ia falhar os braços, eu ia estar bem. Então, eu estava muito ciente que eu podia ficar ali o dia inteiro, que uma hora ou ela ia bater, não ia ter outra opção, não.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we train a lot of strength and conditioning, some different stuff for this camp as well, and I knew that the moment that it was locked, I was just paying attention to her breathing and adjusting according to what I was hearing. The moment that she did start gargling a little bit, I said, okay, now if I do an extra push, I can probably get the finish. But it was still okay. Like I felt, I don't know how much time there was left, but I could probably stay there until the end of the round. Letting it go wasn't really much of an option because part of the plan was also to tire her out. So, worst case scenario, I would be crushing her head.
And then lastly, with the hair, did you finish in Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3?
E com relação ao cabelo, em que nível que você terminou a luta? Deu tempo de passar do Super Saiyajin 1, Super Saiyajin 2?
Eu acredito que não precisou nem passar do primeiro ainda, né? Porque só Super Saiyajin já foi suficiente. Mas se tivesse durado mais rounds, aí teria que subir o nível do Super Saiyajin, porque para ela ia ficar difícil, né? Mas para mim ia ficar mais de boa.
Yeah, the plan was to go up a level every round, so we were still at level 1.
You were mentioned about several times that the next fight you probably want to face the winner between Weili and Joanna, and then who do you think you're probably going to face first?
Depois da luta ali, você comentou na entrevista que de repente queria enfrentar quem ganhasse da Weili e da Joanna. Quem que você acha que vai ganhar a luta, né? Quem você tem preferência para enfrentar?
Olha, eu acredito que pelo resultado da última luta, porque as duas já lutaram, né? Então, pelo resultado, eu acredito na vitória da Weili e vejo a Weili cada vez melhor dentro da categoria, né? A Joanna não evoluiu nada, né? Eu acho que a Joanna sempre foi a mesma Joanna do começo do UFC até hoje. E a Weili não, a Weili vem melhorando, vem crescendo, vem se destacando dentro da categoria. Então, eu acredito que a vitória seja da Weili, né? E eu acho que para me deixar mais próximo da disputa de cinturão, eu tenho que lutar com quem vencer, né? Então, provavelmente seria com a Weili. Mas eu gostaria muito mesmo de ser passada à frente de todo mundo e disputar o cinturão, porque eu acho que a minha história dentro da organização dá para pedir, né? Pelo menos isso.
It's a tough fight, but looking back and what happened the past 2 years, I think that Weili probably has an advantage there. We haven't seen what Joanna has been working on and if she's been working on anything. But, Joanna has always been Joanna. What she does is what she has been doing throughout her UFC career. And meanwhile, we saw Weili developing and improving and working on different things. So on paper, like if you do the math, considering what happened the first fight, I would say that Weili has a better shot at winning it. And, I just want to fight whoever wins that fight. But, I've been champion. I did something cool today, so, it's worth asking. Maybe I can cut the line.
And if there's a second matchup with you and Weili, and then what would you think your chance for the second fight?
E se você lutar com a Weili, como que você vê a segunda luta rolando?
Olha, eu acho que eu vou ser uma adversária mais calma, mais concentrada, né? Quando eu fui lutar na China, eu tive a sensação e a vontade de ir embora logo, e aí eu não consegui me concentrar para lutar de verdade com a Weili. E então, quando eu dei o primeiro golpe que eu vi que ela sentiu, eu quis ir para cima, e foi aonde eu acho que eu me perdi dentro da estratégia que era para usar, mas eu acho que com essa próxima luta com ela, eu vou estar bem mais concentrada, bem mais ciente do que eu tenho que fazer e trabalhar a minha trocação, a minha força e quem sabe aí saem umas quedas diferentes, umas finalizações diferentes, né? A gente está sempre batendo recordes dentro do UFC.
A second fight with Weili would be probably a lot different because there wasn't really much of a first fight. When I got in there, I just wanted to get back home, to be honest. Like, things didn't go very well on that fight week and, the week before. And I went to China a lot earlier. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but I was there for 20 days, and it didn't go as planned. So the moment that I saw the opening, the moment that I saw the first strike connect, I was like, okay, I'm going back home. Like, I'm going to finish this right now. And then I opened myself up, and that happened. So, by the end of the day, I ended up getting home, but it wasn't how I would have liked to. But that's the thing. Like, I think I've been working on a lot of stuff. If we do fight once again, hopefully I'm in a better place and I can do what I do or what I could have done back then because I really didn't get a chance to actually fight her.
Thank you. Congrats on the big win.
Just congrats on the win. Tremendous performance. Boa luta.
Gracias.
Just for fun, a prediction, please. 2 weeks, big fight at 115. Who do you think and why?
daqui 2 semanas a gente tem uma baita de uma luta, né, pelo cinturão. Qual que é a tua previsão? O que você imagina que vai acontecer ali?
Olha, a minha previsão é que a Rose continue com o cinturão, porque por mais que a Carla Esparza seja uma adversária dura, insistente nas entradas de queda, é difícil de ser nocauteada, mas existe a questão da envergadura da Rose. A Rose é muito rápida. Desde quando eu vejo as lutas dela dentro do UFC, ela tem um chão, ela tem um jiu-jitsu bom. Inclusive, quando lutou comigo, algumas quedas que eu dei, ela já caía direto para finalizações. Então, eu acredito na vitória da Rose. Creio que ela não vença por nocaute ou finalização, mas vença por pontos, por decisão unânime, pela questão da envergadura, da velocidade e da energia que ela tem dentro do octógono. Então, se ela manter a distância da Carla, ela vai trazer, continuar com esse cinturão tranquilamente.
You know, as much as Carla is relentless with her takedowns, she has an amazing top game. People sometimes maybe underestimate how good Rose is on the ground, you know, and she has been for a long, long time. When I was fighting her, you know, there was like takedowns attempts that I tried that she would go straight into a submission from there, and she brings danger no matter where she is. And she does have the reach advantage, you know, she is going to be fighting on the bigger cage, so I think it's going to be tough for Carla to find her there. You know, I think I don't see her finishing Carla, but I see this fight going the 5 rounds with a wide margin for Rose.
All right. Thank you. Obrigado.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
We back.
Well, clearly a big win for you. I know one that was important, and you've had a little bit of time to process it. I'm sure you'll go back and watch it and all that. But as you're sitting there now, how do you feel about the performance tonight?
I feel pretty great. You know, I showed everything that I wanted to show, you know. I heard that she was the better wrestler, and I got to show that I'm the better wrestler. And she's really tough, you know. So I obviously was going out for the finish, and I did not get that. But I definitely dominated, and I'm happy with the win.
I was actually surprised with how much grappling you did tonight. I assumed you'd want to stay out of that with her. So I guess, was that just because of how things played out, or did you go in there thinking, no, I'm going to grapple a little bit and prove a point?
No, I mean, I was going to go out there and do whatever happened. You know, I know that I'm the better fighter. I was going to be dominant in the striking, dominant in the wrestling, dominant in the grappling. And I was definitely I had way more strength than she did. And I felt that once I got in the clinch. But yeah, no, I'm happy with it no matter what. You know, I got to showcase how much wrestling and how much grappling I can do. You know, from defenses, I know she threw up an armbar, was able to defend that and end up on top. And then, you know, continue to put the pressure on and all of that from there.
I saw a lot of people praising, you know, seeing that we see this hungry Macy back, this aggressive Macy back that maybe we hadn't seen. Do you feel that was there tonight, and what was it that got that back?
I do, you know, I feel like that was something that I've always had that, like, fire in me, you know, I've always wanted to be, like, I'm going to go out here and dominate, finish, and beat these girls up and walk through and wreck them. obviously tearing my leg, tearing my ACL, and then taking a loss. You know, sometimes your light gets dim a little bit. But you know, sometimes my mom sent me a post. She's like, when it gets dark, that's when stars shine the brightest. So I definitely got to reignite that light and let it shine tonight. And yeah, the old me that was it never left. It was just a little bit hidden, but it's definitely starting to shine through a lot more now.
Is it funny to say the old you, considering your age?
I know, I'm like 23. I'm like, yeah, the old me.
When I was like 21.
Back when I was, you know.
The hug afterwards. I guess who was that number one? And I guess tell us about that moment.
To be honest, I wanted it to be my mom. But they didn't get to be out here. They were going to drive out from Colorado, and they got hit with a snowstorm at 3 a.m., so they did not get to drive out. I had all the tickets. Dana hooked me up with some tickets to be able to have them here, and I didn't get to have them here, but that was the next person that would be the closest to being a mother to me, and that's Sherry Riley. She is my high-performance life coach, and she is a mentor. She is my second mother. She is honestly the angel that has been to my life. And has impacted me. I might cry. She has impacted me in so many ways, and I will never stop like sharing that with everybody, because it's like, as many times as like everybody's gonna be like, yeah, we get it. Like you love these people, but until you have gone through, you know, the ups and downs and the things I've experienced in my life, you'll never understand how impactful this woman has been on my life. And I'm very thankful for Eric Thomas, who introduced me to her and brought such an angel to my life.
That's awesome. And I guess, not to go too far into it, but is it just about, I guess, helping you deal with maybe the doubt that might have crept in with everything that you were dealing with? And, I mean, I know you've had to face, like, abundant negativity on social media and stuff like that.
I don't read that.
Good.
I don't read that. We're good.
But is that...
Not negativity, I'm good.
So, I mean, is that what it's... I mean, because it seems like it's like a life-changing thing. Is that what it is? Is like self-belief and that?
No, I mean, I know I'm going to be the best in the world. It's just, you know, sometimes things get a little bit more difficult, you know. There's, like you said, I'm not old. I'm 23. So I grew up in the UFC, basically, you know. Like, I've had, this is my 13th fight. And I had one amateur fight, and then I went to pro, and my whole goal was to get to the UFC. So I knew that going through LFA and going through the Contender Series was like to get to the UFC. So it's like putting a bunch of pressure on myself. So I literally, as soon as I got to the UFC, that was my first ever injury. That was my first ever loss, my first ever concussion. So I had to learn all of that on the biggest stage in the entire world. And I did back when I fought Alexa and when I hurt my knee and all that, yeah, I read comments. I did. And that's what I learned. My dad taught me that. He's like, don't read below the line. And after that, I took it to heart. You know, I don't read below the line. I post and I forget about it, because there is a lot of hate in this world, but I feel like most of the people that shine the hate are the people that are dealing with stuff internally. And that's why I feel like they need exponential living in their life. They need something happy. So for me, no. I mean, there was a lot of negativity at first, but we on a different level now. We're going different places.
That's awesome. Last thing for me, I know you said you didn't really have a name necessarily in mind, and you'll trust the UFC and your team, but I guess, what do you see your path now at this point? I mean, is it, hey, we got to jump in and contend as quickly as possible, or is it like, hey, let's develop a little bit. We are just 23 years old. We got time. Like, what do you see as your path from here?
I tried to live my life by that quote, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So when I first got to the UFC, I was 20 years old. I'm like, let's go for the youngest champion. Obviously, we have passed that date. I am 23. I will be 24 in May. So rather than pressuring myself and being like, let's go as fast as we can to the best, I'm going to be the best. But how I get there, I'm going to enjoy every moment of this journey, and I'm going to make sure I don't skip steps. I make sure I don't pressure myself into, taking a chance that I shouldn't take. But at the same time, I have never turned down a fight. Every opponent that they have ever offered me, I've said yes to. And that's throughout my entire career. I've never said no. So every girl that I've fought and have beat or lost to, I feel like that's part of my process, and it's part of the journey, and I know that there's a reason And I do trust the UFC in that sense because they haven't given me something I can't handle yet, you know? And I'm very thankful for that and thankful for the opportunity. So we're going to see what's next.
Hi, Macy.
Hi.
I noticed you have something written on your hand. I was wondering if you could kind of tell us what that, on the other hand. Oh, again, unless
I have
you have
a
it
lot.
both. Oh, okay.
Can
you tell us what
So
that is?
before every fight, I kind of, I like to put on my hands what, like is going through my heart, going through my mind. 10-2, that's my record now. I have a Psalm 18:34. It's a Bible verse about God blessing your hands, preparing them for battle, preparing them for war. I have beep cancer because I try not to swear too much. And this is for Angie, Coach Joey Rodriguez. I know that everybody's heard a lot about Angie and her situation with being sick right now. And instead of asking people to continue to support, I wanted to thank everyone who has already supported because I know that Mike Malott fought recently, and he already told everybody about, how she's fighting a tough battle right now. And there's a GoFundMe, there is, so anybody who wants to donate can donate. But I feel like the MMA community has been able to just show how incredible we are, like being able to support, being able to come together, even though, we're fighting each other, but then everybody's coming together to fight the true fight, and that's helping people who need help when they need it. So yeah.
Is that the person that right after you won, I noticed you pointed towards your wrist. Is that who you were speaking about?
Yeah, I was talking about Angie. I really, we all wanted Joey in our corner. But right now we got to be in his, we got to be in Angie's corner, and that's what we're doing. So, yeah, I tried to do the purple in my hair because that's the awareness color for lymphoma. And, yeah, I just tried to really support as much as I can and show some love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you said you didn't want to put too much pressure on yourself and you didn't want to rush to the top, or you wanted to, methodically go forward. But that being said, when you say you'll take whoever they throw your way, isn't there some part of you that wants to sort of plan that out and not let them put something that maybe makes more sense for them as opposed to for you, that makes a fight that seems better for you than what they might want to throw out at you?
I feel like what's better for them is for me to continue to be successful. Like they're trying to build someone up, and I'm going to be someone that they're building up. So the answer to that is a yes and no question because I know that I have a team behind me and people who are going to help me answer when that opponent comes. But at the same time, like I've said, they've never given me something I can't handle. And at the same time, I know that there is a plan on how to build someone. Build a career, build a star, and that's me. I'm coming up, and I'm going to continue to build, and I'm going to continue to rise. And if something isn't smart at the time, I will let my coaches and everybody decide that together. But that's not something I'm going to be like, yeah, no.
Yeah. And
I'm a fighter. We take fights.
And I guess this is sort of a two-part question. As you start having success again, when you first came on the scene, you were thrust, like you said, you started your career practically in the UFC. It could be very easy for somebody to get a big head, right from the get-go. So I guess in the two-part, if you looked at yourself when you first came in, do you feel much more humble now? Would you, if you saw the Macy back then, would you just say, whoa, calm down, Macy, slow down? Or you would have been, or did you feel like, no, I liked what I saw myself doing back then?
I will not laugh at your question, but I'm going to laugh at your question. No, I would not go back and change anything about who I am. I am still the same person that walked in that way. I'm still the same person that's going to continue to do that. I believe in myself. I know I'm going to be a champion. I know I'm going to wreck these girls. And it's just taking the time to work through all of the things and learning all the techniques that I need to learn. But at the end of the day, I know that I can fight, and I know that I have the heart of a champion, and I'm going to beat all of these girls.
And I guess the second part of the question.
There's your answer.
When it does get to the point where you want somebody to kind of help, I mean, I guess who helps to keep you grounded? Do you find that in religion? Do you find that in your team? When it gets to the point when success starts coming your way, how do you stay grounded, and who does the job of keeping you grounded and keeping you focused?
I feel like that's a lot of people. I feel like that's the team, I feel like that's my family. You know, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, my niece that was just born, like all of my family. And then it's also Sherry, Riley, Eric, Thomas. You know, they've taught me a lot. And it's a combination of everybody, you know. But at the same time, I know where my heart is, and I know where I'm going to go. And the whole reason why I'm fighting the way I'm fighting is because I have a why, and that why is bigger than me. That why is bigger than anything I could ever achieve. And the whole goal for this career that I have is not just to achieve gold, but it's to build a platform so I can become a voice for other women and other girls and other people going through, you know, tough times, to be able to come out and be like, I've been in a bad position, and you can do so many incredible things with your life, and that's the goal. And so that's what keeps me grounded, is my why.
And then lastly, did you get a chance to talk to your niece either right before, or have you talked to her afterwards?
I haven't. She was just born 5 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to fly out on Monday to go meet her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll keep this one just a little bit tighter. Claudia's got somewhere to be in a little bit, so 10 minutes or less if we can help it.
What's up, guys?
We'll keep it quick. I guess first, I mean, obviously a big win on a big platform in your career. I mean, I guess what's the feel of the victory right now?
Feels good. Just took out a legend. Just extended my record, my submission record, and my winning record, and my winning streak. And yeah, it just feels very good.
I know you have respect for him as a legend. I mean, was there any like moment when you get in there like, whoa, that's Clay Guida on the other side? You know, it's somebody that's been doing this since you were a kid.
No, man, no. I mean, I probably had that thought like 3 months ago when I first got the fight, but then I've been like visualizing all this stuff like going on. I was already in that cage locked in with Clay Guida about 100 times on my mind. I've had that shit picture like time after time. Like when that happens and it's the first time and you're kind of like overwhelmed, that's not a good thing. So I was very calm. I knew what I had to do for him not to pressure me too much. I knew what he was gonna try. I knew he may or may not be very confident on his ground game because he just on his last fight, you all saw what happened. So I was like, maybe this guy is gonna try to like still wrestle me, even though he knows I'm very dangerous on the ground. But if he believes he can deal with me, all right, that's gonna be good for me. I had him in like 5 submissions in like 1 round.
I was going to ask you, I mean, you're going from like arm bar to triangle choke to omoplata. I mean, and he's countering pretty well, right? I mean, you had him in a lot of trouble, but I guess was there any part of you that's like either getting frustrated or thinking like, man, this dude's better than I thought he was in terms of his defense?
No. I know he's a veteran. He's like almost 60 fights. Like I really didn't expect to finish him with a triangle. Actually, I wasn't really pressuring the triangle too much until my coach told me he's choking, keep on going with the triangle. And I was like, oh wait, what? I just like started like pressing a little more but then he escaped, so I kind of went for the armbar, but I was not in good position. I switched to the omoplata just not to lose the position, and then I kind of like started seeing what was going on. I was like, okay, if I don't finish this, at least I want to win the round. I have him in like 3 submissions. He hasn't done anything. He didn't connect a single punch. So yeah, I mean, even if I don't finish him, I'm still winning. So I'm good.
Nice. The knee bar, obviously it's clearly something that you're fantastic at, but you say you don't drill it that much. So I guess, is it just something that it's just natural for you? I mean, how can you be so sharp with this technique if you're not ever using it in the gym?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just good. No, I don't know.
I like that. You should just stop right there, though.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't go and practice for it anymore. I used to when I was a couple of years back. I hit my first one in the Ultimate Fighter when I was 20, like 5 years ago. And from there, and it was the exact same setup. The 4 knee bars I've hit is the exact same setup. So people, I don't know, they don't study me, or I don't know what's their deal, but they're just gonna keep getting cut if they don't like do something.
I like it. Last thing for me, Edson Barbosa, you said that's the fight. I mean, why do you think that's the one that makes sense? And I mean, do you think like he's going to be willing to take it? Does it make sense for him? What do you think?
Who?
Who did you want to fight next?
Oh, I haven't called anyone out.
Okay.
Did you say Edson Barbosa?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was Jourdain. Sorry, I was mixed up. I apologize. So, is there a fight that makes sense for you in the division? I mean, it seems like you're fast on the rise at this point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't have anyone in mind right now, but I will. I will soon. I will like put it out on social media. Like, I need to make up a plan with my manager. Like, talk a couple things and plan a little bit. You know, I got a plan ahead. I'm gonna make this year big. Last year was it was my comeback. Like, my fight with Jordan Levitt over a year ago. Oh, sorry, a little bit under a year ago was my first fight in 2 years. So I was a little rusty. I think I'm showing up better every fight. I'm getting better every camp. That's for sure. We don't get to show everything. We get better. We don't get to show everything in every single fight, but I know what I'm doing. I know the work I'm putting, so I want to close this year very big. At least 2 more fights.
Just a quick with me. I know his wrestling skills is probably what helped get him out of a couple of those moves, but do you think at some point with the wrestling it made him want to stay on the ground? Do you think as you were making those transitions and before you slid into that knee bar, do you think the best way that he probably should have did was to actually try to stand up and get away instead of trying to stay on the ground and try to transition some more?
Yeah, maybe. But if he stood up, I was gonna start kicking him and like high kicking him, and he knew that. He saw how the last guy took like all those kicks, and I'm sure he was worried about that as well. He maybe had some confidence because he was coming from finishing Leo Santos, who's like a jiu-jitsu world champ. So maybe he thought he could like deal with me on the ground. I was like sitting on this exact same chair like a couple of days ago, and I said like if he tries to do that, he's gonna get his leg snatched. I said it, and well, I had to do it.
And I know you said that you felt like he was on the way down. You're the next generation. But being in there and being in there with the time that you were, is there still a place, is there still a time for Clay in the UFC? Or do you think now that some of the older generation probably need to start filtering out of the UFC?
I think not like, it's not just like one or the other. I think he can still like hang with people in the UFC. He's proven he can still win. But for sure, like at his age, maybe I don't know. I don't want to decide for him. Like he knows how he feels and everything. But on the other side, of course, the new generations come in. Like all the fighters you see. Like I remember, like some years ago, I was the youngest fighter or like one of the youngest, and now I see all these kids like behind me. They're even younger and they're coming hungrier. So I gotta keep up and like keep on doing for me, like you know. But of course, Clay can do his own. Like guys, like there's not many guys his age that are like holding it down like that.
And then I believe this is what, 5 wins in a row. At this point, if you don't see some sort of number, a decent number in front of your name, will you be upset after this?
I was, but then I've been like having some conversations this week and feel a little better. We'll see what happens.
What were the conversations that calmed you down?
We'll see what happens, man.
Potential fights, it sounds.
Sounds like money to me.
Or money.
Could be both.
Fair enough. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Claudio, felicidades con el triunfo. 2 preguntas simples. ¿Cómo se siente estar enfrente de una leyenda para los fans que tienen ese sueño de decir, sería padre que yo fuera de la joya cuando peleó con Pacquiao o en Gano cuando le ganó al Velázquez? Tú tuviste esa experiencia esta noche. ¿Cómo se sintió estar enfrente de?
La única forma de convertirse en una leyenda es venciendo a una Claramente no digo que sea una leyenda ahorita en este momento, pero sé que lo voy a hacer al final de mi carrera. Creo que ya soy un referente en Latinoamérica. Definitivamente en Perú soy el número 1. Y bueno, nada, para mí lo que sigue es seguir trepando, seguir escalando.
Claro, ¿y cómo está la escena en Perú? O sea, no tenemos tantos peleadores en la jaula. ¿Qué tan importante es para ti tener éxito y llevar a Perú en lo más alto de arte marcial mixta?
Mucho, a mí me interesa mucho promover el MMA en mi país. Soy un gran creyente que tenemos mucho talento, solamente hay que cambiar el chip y volvernos atletas dedicados, tener claro que en esta carrera sí se puede llegar arriba. Y bueno, estoy probando eso para los más chicos puedan ver que sí es posible. Y bueno, sigan este camino si es que realmente lo quieren.
Fantástico, este será parte de tu legado, abrir las puertas para otros. Finalmente, un mensaje para tus fans de todo el mundo. Ya le ganaste a Guira hoy, palanca de rodilla, tremendo primer asalto. ¿Qué esperamos en el futuro con Claudio?
Más palancas, más victorias. Si se puedo ampliar mi récord hasta 10 palancas de rodilla, lo voy a hacer. Y nada, de verdad, gracias a todo el apoyo. Ha estado increíble esta semana, he estado súper contento. El apoyo ha sido tremendo, mucho más que otras veces y sé que eso solo va a seguir subiendo.
Muchas gracias, felicidades, viva Perú.
Viva Perú.